Hello everyone, this is D. Chiranjeevi, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, Aditya University. Today I am going to discuss conditional statements in programming for problem solving using C. The learning outcome of this lecture is student will be able to discuss the conditional statements if else, if, switch. What are conditional statements? These conditional statements are also known as decision making statements. These statements are a help to jump from one part of the program to another part. The control transfer may be conditional or unconditional. In C language, these conditional statements can alter the flow of sequence of instructions. Generally, till now, whatever flow of sequence is there, that is sequential, but in conditional statements, it can jump from one part of the program to another part. Now, the first conditional statement is if. So, if is a conditional statement, it uses keyword if and it allows computer to evaluate the condition first. Okay, if this condition is true, then control will be transferred to inside the block. If condition is false, directly control will be transferred outside the block. If any statements are there, they will display. Okay, with an example, I will discuss this if statement. Now, we are discussing a program whether a number is less than 10 or not. So, here in this program, the execution will start from main function. We are reading a number by using this scanf. So, user read through scanf and that is stored in the n. Now, you are written a condition for this to check whether number is less than 10 or not. So, n less than 10. So, let us say if user given n value 5. So, 5 less than 10. So, that is true. If true, it will print number is less than 10. So, if you check this example, here the user given input is 6. So, 6 less than 10. So, this is true means 1. True means 1 and false means 0. If the condition is true, if 1 is, as I said, non-zero value is true, 0 value is false. So, if condition is 1, so if 1 means true, so if 1 is true, so then it will print number is less than 10. Okay, so here 6 less than 10. So, that means true, true means 1. So, if 1, it means control will be transferred to inside the block. Inside the block, the statement is there, number is less than 10. So, it is displaying output number is less than 10. If, let us say if user give input example, if user give minus 6, then it will check minus 6 less than 10. In that case, the condition is false. Condition means false means the value is 0. So, if 0 means false, control will be transferred to outside the block. Outside the block, if any statements are there, it will print. So, here no statements are there. So, it won't print anything. But in the case of true, it will print inside the statement also as well as outside the statement also. We need to take care of that. So, if it is minus 6, then control will go outside. So, no statement is there. So, it won't print anything. So, second conditional statement is if else. So, in if else, we are having two blocks. First block is if and second block is for else. If block is true, then that particular block of statements will be displayed. In this if else, we are using two keywords, one is if and the other one is else. If the if block is evaluated to false, then control will be transferred to the else block. So, else you cannot use without the if. So, the syntax if you see, first we are writing if, then we are writing a condition with if, then you are simply writing else without any condition. So, the body of if is this part and the body of else is this part, and you need to take care of this. With else we cannot write any condition, only with if we need to write the condition here. Now, let us discuss an example for if else. Now, program to check whether a number is positive or negative. Now, if you see, look at in this program. So, user read a number that is in scanf here and then he is checking n is greater than 10. So, let us say here user given input 6. So, 6 greater than 10. So, if this is true, 6 greater than 10, so this is false. 6 is greater than 10. If this is false, control will be transferred to else block. Okay. So, if else block number is negative, so here the output is also, it will print number is negative. If else if is a conditional statement which is having multiple conditions. The first condition is with if and the next condition is else if and then finally else. If the first condition is true, that block of statements will be printed, and if first condition is false, then control will be transferred to else if. If else if is true, that particular block of statements will be displayed. Otherwise, if it is also false, then control will be finally sent to else block. Now, if you look at the syntax, so if we are having the first condition, If this is true, this block of statements will be displayed. If this if condition is false, then control will be directly transferred to else block. With the condition, again it will check the condition. If this condition is true, these block of statements will be displayed. If this condition is also false, then control will be directly transferred to else block and these block of statements will be displayed. Wherever condition evaluated true, that block of statements will be printed. If all the conditions are false, then only control will be transferred to else block. Now with an example, if else if we are checking a number is positive or negative or 0. Now let us check here. So we are reading a number from user here, so that is n. So now you are checking a condition. So user given minus 6. So first it will check minus 6 greater than 10. So this if condition is evaluated to false, because minus 6 greater than 10 false. So control will be transferred to else block. Now it will check minus 6 equal to 0. This is also false. So then control will be directly transferred to else block. So in else block it is there, number is negative. So the output is negative. Then switch is also control statement that allows to make a decision from number of choices is called switch statement. Each contains a value and list of statements. The flow of control transfer through statement associated with the first case value that matches in case. So there are several rules for switch case, like case level must be unique and each case level must end with colon. Case level must have a constant expression. Case level must be integer or character, like you can write case 2 or case 1 plus 1 you can write, or case A you can write. A is a character, 1 plus 1 is an expression, 2 is a integer. Case level should not be floating point or double. Okay. Default can be placed anywhere in the switch. So default is also one of the block, you can place anywhere in the switch, but generally we write in the end of the switch, last level of the switch. Multiple cases cannot be same expression. You cannot use same case numbers multiple times, and relational operators are also not allowed in switch, and nesting of switch is allowed, and variables are not allowed in switch case level. Syntax of the switch we will discuss. Now with switch there will be an expression. This expression is nothing but user choice value. Based on this choice value, control will first check with case value, first case. If it is matches, that block of statements will be displayed. If it is not matched, then control will transfer to next block, and next block if matches, this particular block will be displayed. Else if nowhere in the case level it is matching, then control will be transferred to default case and that particular block of statements will be executed. Okay. So here switch and case both are keywords, so they are the reserved words. Now if you see switch, we are writing expression, in this case where this must be constant or this must be a character you can write, but you cannot write any variable names or anything else. Program to discuss switch to perform operations of a calculator using switch. So now if you see here, first of all here first user read two values because he is performing calculator operations. So like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus. So user read two values first here. First he has printed a message, then he read two values. So that let us say two values you are given input as 10, 5. Then he is reading operation which he want to perform. If let us say if user pressing 1, then it will perform addition. If user giving 2, it will perform subtraction. User giving 3, it will perform multiplication. User give 4, then it will do division. If user gives input 5, then it will perform modulus. So based on the user choice, so it will perform the operation. Let us say user has given here choice 3. So that 3 has been stored in this ch variable, then the ch value is 3. So switch 3, first it will match with case 1. So 3 equal to 1, no. Then it will check with case 2, false. So here also it will check case 2, no, false. Now control will be transferred to case 3 from here. 3 equal to 3, so it is true. So it will perform multiplication operation. So A value you already got 10 and B value you got 5. So 10 into 5, so that is 50. So it will print the multiplication value is 50. In the same manner, let us say if user given input, let us say input value user given, let us say 6. 6 is not there. So if user given 6, then it will check case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, then nowhere it matched, then control will be transferred to default, then it will say user choice entered by you, wrong choice entered by you. So this is the statement it will print. So in this lecture I have discussed if else, if, switch. Thank you.